If you don't turn from your wicked ways and repent and trust in Jesus, you're gonna die and burn in hell.
I'm gonna be honest, this dude's hitting like the holy triumvirate of religious evangelist, Twitch streamer, Fortnite player. He's really in it.
5 years ago, I made a video titled Teaching Gamers About God. And in that video, I talked about a streamer who calls himself Dr. Witnesser. He's not a real doctor or anything. It's kind of like a Dr. Seuss situation if Dr. Seuss had like zero whims.
I've never really listened to Kurtis Connor's stuff.
So Dr. Witnesser's whole shtick was playing Fortnite on Twitch, but while he was cranking 90s and hitting the orange justice, he would simultaneously preach the word of the first man to ever use the reboot van, Jesus Christ.
If you don't turn from your wicked ways and repent and trust in Jesus, you're gonna die and burn in hell.
His motto was literally bringing the gospel to gamers, and since he primarily played Fortnite, the people he would primarily preach to were children, because as we all know, Fortnite is...
I'm gonna be honest, this dude's hitting like the holy triumvirate of pedophilia. Religious evangelist, Twitch streamer, Fortnite player. He's really in it.
I don't know if we can res you. You might want to call God to come resurrect you.
That's not funny.
But that didn't stop him from absolutely...
That's not funny.
spreading that gospel for years.
I've actually been waiting to get into this dude's lobby anyway. He's a fucking loser. He literally shoves the fucking Bible down little kids' throat and shit.
You're not doing God's work. You're not doing God's bidding or anything. You're just a disgusting human being who fucking shoves his faith on people. Like, you're actually just a weirdo.
A couple of years
You got automodded for that, but not slurs? Well, you got automodded for simp because simp was like a banned term a long time ago. So I think like my first year of streaming, I added it there, not because of anything to do with the son. Also, what slur have you said that got you, that went through? Oh, because you said Italian slur. No, like not even Twitch thinks it's serious.
At one point, he compared homosexuality to bestiality.
Like, obviously, did you know, like, having sex with an animal, that's against God's law, right?
He also told a Muslim child that he was going to go to hell because he wasn't a Christian.
If you were to die in your sins today, you would be sentenced to hell.
Yeah. Just overall evil, monstrous behavior. He now regularly streams Fortnite on Twitch and YouTube, and he's actually gotten a lot more popular since my video. Not in a good way, I should say. I think he just has more hate accounts dedicated towards him now. Also, before we get into this video, I want to give
What the fuck was D-Live?
a quick disclaimer. I hardly know her. If you are a Christian or a Catholic or religious person at all, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. But in this video, I am most likely going to be making some jokes about Christianity and Jesus.
Yeah, because you should make fun of evangelists. You should make fun of individuals who go out of their way to impress a set of ideals onto impressionable, vulnerable people. Especially in the event that it's meant to rope you back into like a fucking system of pseudo tithing and collecting money. It's fucking, I don't give a shit. I stand by that shit. Fuck 'em.
And God. So if having your religious beliefs criticized is going to be hard for you, just imagine what Jesus had to go through.
Wasn't Jesus Jewish anyways? No, Jesus was a Scientologist.
Video. I did another podcast episode about him
Jesus was always a Scientologist.
2 years ago about him posting a transphobic video titled "What is a Woman?" Fortnite edition.
It's like AI slop of like if I was like design the perfect pedophile. A deeply religious middle-aged Fortnite Twitch streamer who uses his platform to radicalize youth against trans identity.
Which, by the way, gotta be up there for one of the worst YouTube
Give him a chin beard.
titles of all time. That's up there with fucking I sniffed Mr. Beast ass.
Yeah, I take issues with evangelists. I don't really care what you believe. I think that religion can serve its own, like, pretty significant value to people when it comes to community building, togetherness, shared purpose. I think the problem is when individuals start to, like, actively condemn individuals for how it is they're, what it is they're born to be, what it is they're born as, etc. I mean, that's the shit that I take issue with. I have an enduring issue with going out of your way to leverage dubious text to invalidate the, deservedness of certain people when it comes to like life and living.
I got a clip from one of his streams on my TikTok a few weeks ago, and after I saw this clip, I knew that
Anti-theist is cringe? I mean, what would you define anti-theism as? Because, like, I think it's fair to take issue with the blanket organization of society around religious ideals or beliefs that can't be, like, really even, like, empirically explored. It offers little by way of, like, negotiable sort of like objectives or imperatives. It's just like, here's how to be based on a translation of a translation of a translation of a translation of a text that not everyone is going to universally agree upon or even really be able to dispute, right? I'm completely content with people going about their life in accordance to doctrine or gospel as long as it doesn't actively infringe on the right to life of others, you know?
That it was a message from God telling me to make another video about this guy. This was the clip that I saw.
Did you say the N-word? And I'm like, what N-word? You mean n***a?
It's like an inevitable, like, other shoe dropping for fucking, like, chud creators, you know?
Yeah, that's what everybody's favorite God-fearing streamer has been up to for the past few years. I guess he's just fully saying the N-word now on stream.
You mean n***a?
I had to add the bleep in, by the way. The original video, full word. And not like this would make it okay, but it's not like he said it just like one time, you know?
You can only say the N-word if you're black.
Are you black?
No! Don't say nigga this, nigga that. People would refer to black individuals as niggers.
Maybe
I
I'm
don't wanna hear
ill-informed,
that
but I don't think a quote-unquote
anymore.
good Christian would just casually drop one of the most offensive
Nah.
words of all
He's
time.
not
A
good
slur that is
anything.
historically...
He's a shitty dude. He's a shitty dude who's dedicated his life to essentially rage baiting via, you know, evangelism.
been used by white people to intentionally dehumanize people of color, right? Hey, what do I know? I've never been to church. Maybe Christians don't care about how their words affect others. I don't know, but I could have sworn.
You know, it's the problem is that it's tribalism. It's not like a reverence for doctrine or gospel. That's not what they're doing, man. The vast majority of people who have dedicated a life to their religion care in a lot of ways very little about like what it is a religion endeavors to create by way of social equality or justice. It's going to be far more predicated on preserving a sense of moral supremacy over non-believers. It's in-group, out-group tribalism.
I could have sworn it was love thy neighbor, right? Neighbor, Dr. Witnesser. That's the only N-word that ends with R that you should be saying, okay? And obviously he received a ton of backlash for saying the N-word several times. So he took to Twitter to make an apology, if you want to call it that. I don't feel like I need to, but I'm doing it anyways. Nice. Good start, man. I apologize to anyone who might have been
hurt. Yeah, this is the most like snide, completely inauthentic apology already.
hurt by me saying the word N-word.
No, it's not that anyone's hurt. It's that they think that you're an insufferable chud. Like, I don't really know how to put this. Like, it's more about the principle of you believing you can say it and what it suggests about your character. I don't think a lot of people are intrinsically upset by hearing you say the word. Honestly, I mean, obviously there are going to be individuals who are actively targeted by the word who I think could easily contest this. But my read of it typically when I talk about it with people of color is that it's more so like, oh, this is like your, like, piece de resistance. It's like this is you believing that you have a right to determine what language is or isn't comfortable or acceptable on the basis of your own sensibilities without considering those that the word targets, right? It's you putting your neck out as an individual who is so bound to the premise of contrarian that you care not who it affects. And that's why people are going to dislike you, right? Like, I feel like it is far more, it's like when I hear like an alt-right grifter say like the R word, you know, or like the F slur, where I'm like, I think that your desire to say it is rooted in your desire to prove that no one can stop you, right? You there are an infinite number of words that would be better suited to describe what you're describing, but to you, it is in-group language showing that you are a part of a sect of people who want to disregard the comfort or well-being of marginalized demographics, and that's why I don't respect it, right?
Or N-word hard R on stream. I clearly was not saying them towards any individual or persons, but clearly using them in I
think this dumbass is genuine. I'm talking generally when I talk about rage baiting. I think this dude's just a piece of shit.
Formative/educational.
But I think that you can also mean what it is you're discussing, but go about it in an antagonistic way because antagonism brings you more attention, right? Bam scored 83 points tonight for the Heat. I know. A lot of free throws. The Kobe fans are going to be very mad.
Manner. And in one case, repeating what a person called me in a matter as such in declaring that we shouldn't use or call someone.
Been hurt by me saying the word. Yeah, that's so chuddy.
A N-word. Yeah, dude, I don't think it matters if you were directly saying it to someone. You still said it. If you shoot a gun, like, straight up in the air, yeah, you didn't aim it at anybody, but, like, it's, you know, there's still a big chance that it could hurt somebody. There are a few minor instances where
Just
I type
stupid.
the word
Just
out on
fucking
X
chud
for
behavior,
comedic
man.
purposes, as well to trigger the 100% white community that is making a big deal out of someone even typing the word out on social media.
There's political connotation to chud, mock a vocally conservative men. Yeah, type the word X. That's to trigger. Yeah, no, most people just don't fuck with it. Like I don't. It's just not seen as a good thing to say. Like, if you're, like, super tight with some individuals, like, if you're, like, tight with some black people who are, like, gonna be, like, they'll, like, bait you about it. They'll poke fun at it, you know? They'll make jokes about the fact that it's a word that can't be said and try to, like, trick you into saying it as a joke. But, like, in no universe do they expect you to freely use the word as if it doesn't have historicity to it, right?
Appreciate your understanding in this whole thing, and I hope you don't take anything I've said or typed out of context to use against me, although I know that is bound.
Like, generally speaking, people who take issue of you, like, with you, like, saying a word aren't just going to be those who are representative of the, like let's say, like, attributes or, you know, like, ethnic group that you're criticizing or referencing with the word, right? The people who are going to take issue with it are people who find needlessly antagonistic people to be insufferable and, like, essentially detrimental to the premise of social cohesion. They're just like, I don't fuck with what you are doing because I think that it sets out to make the world less harmonious to the end of benefiting your own personal celebrity or, like, intellectual conquest if you're dumb enough to think that you're making a meaningful point.
To happen. Our Lord doesn't want anyone to purposely cause strife and division in this world. That was 100% not my intent, but if I accidentally did so, I'm sorry. Thanks for reading this long apology, and I hope you have a great day and can move on with your life knowing that I am truly sorry. May God bless each and every one of you nice, intelligent, godly, good, awesome people. Dr. Witnesser. Whoa, actually... one of the worst apologies of all time. Genuinely insane that in his apology, he was like, our Lord doesn't want anyone to purposely cause strife and division. And just 2 paragraphs before that, he literally admits that he was trying to purposely cause strife and division. Like, the fuck? Dude, I also hate when people use the, oh, I took it out of context.
Using the Bible as a shield? I mean, yeah, it's a tale as old as time, man. Insufferable.
In what context would that have been okay? You know what I mean? It's the N-word. And you look like that also. No, guys, you don't understand. I was captured by Jigsaw, and the only way to get out of his trap was to say the N-word. I swear this dude has the IQ and maturity level of, like, a 12-year-old. Because the way he talks about using the N-word, it sounds like the way a fucking, like, Reddit edgelord would talk about it.
Oh, are you black?
Yeah.
Oh, good. If I'm a white dude, but I say the N-word, like, I'll give you an example. A guy calls me the N-word, and I say, bro, I'm not a... Am I
Why would you feel the need to contend with that, though? I mean, like, you know, like, why would you even, like, how divorced can you be from, like, the colloquialization of the word in certain communities to think that they mean you're black? No one assumes that. No one is assuming that.
Racists for saying the N-word in the context of saying that he called me that? I'm not calling him that, and I'm not using it towards a black man as a white man.
It's such a silly hill.
In the bad way, though, you're not using it to, like...
You're not offended by me saying it like that?
I'm not offended, no.
Thank you. See, chat, see?
I'm not too humble to use the N-word pass. I think it's stupid.
I'm not racist, coming straight.
Not a matter of being humble. It's that I don't feel the need to use a word that has little utility to me.
From a black dude.
All right, that settles it, I guess. He asked one black person if it was offensive, and they said no. Case closed, guys. He's not racist.
What are you listening to? That sounds like complete garbage. Oh, yeah, that's real.
This is like an Eric Heidegger character. Or a Tim Heidegger character. You know? That's what this is.
So intelligent music.
This reminds me of Howie. From the I Think You Should Leave bit. Paul Bufano!
Wow, that's great.
C, not racist at all. Calling rap music unintelligent has never had any racist connotation.
Yeah, it's literally all it is. It's complete. Also, it is the only people who would ever call rap music unintelligent, and I typically don't like to poke at intelligence as a way of proving a point, but I think it's demonstrative of being unintelligent. I really do. Anyone who's incapable of recognizing why it is certain sounds or trends emerge as successful in cultural contexts aren't thinking people. Rap music of all subgenres is meritorious in so many ways, and it takes very little investigation to figure out what the actual genius behind a lot of what goes on to be successful is.
To it whatsoever.
Listen to some nice, pleasant music.
Also, it is pretty wild to call rap music unintelligent when every single Christian song is just, God is so good, fuck. He's so fucking good. It's all the same, dude. Look at these titles of popular Christian songs.
I'm just not into this whole concept of like, this is intelligent or unintelligent music. It is music. Do you connect with it? Do you enjoy it? Does it evoke something in you? Think about why for a little bit. That's all it really needs to be. Like, the people behind producing all of your favorite songs, regardless of genre, are typically pretty decent in what they do, especially in hip-hop, where production is super varied and borrows from a lot of different, genres in its synthesis.
Songs that I found. Goodness of God. Thank you, Lord. How great is our God? Shout to the Lord. We get it, guys. God is good. Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's get a little bit more creative. Song as good as Safe
Then there's Kid Rock.
Sex is great sex. Better wear a latex, because you don't want that latex that I think I'm latex. Dude, you show me a bar better than that in any Christian song, I will convert. I'm
gonna make that guy sit there and listen to Wayne's Pussy Monster. That dude's gonna listen to all the Hot Boys era.
Swear to God. It really says a lot about this guy that when someone says, God damn it, or Jesus Christ, he's like, I'll take the Lord's name in vain, dude.
Stop taking his name in vain, dude.
But then
Hey, dude. That's my God, dude.
He'll just straight up
like, fuck your God. I don't care. That's not like, I don't. And I say that with caution. It's like, I don't ever want to offend anyone, but it's like, yeah, man, I don't share your sensibilities. We are talking about something that, for all intents and purposes, is imaginary to me, however viscerally real it is to you. It's completely distinct from the experience of pointing to an individual and denigrating them on the basis of race, using slurs with a historicity evoking subjugation, right?
Say a slur? Like
it's insane to do that and to consider that to be in any way.
It's not Christ-like language.
That's like if someone was robbing a bank at gunpoint, but then you start yelling at them for parking their getaway car in a handicap spot. It's like, I think the other thing is objectively worse, man. And after all these years, he still has not learned that people don't want to hear about the Bible when they're playing Fortnite, obviously. I know they both.
Dude, I've always been at odds with that because they say you can't like infer God's intent and that God can't be understood. But it's like, dude, if God is truly petty enough to condemn someone to a lifetime of torturous, unmitigated pain and suffering because of how he made them, that's not a cool God. I don't know if I want to hang out with that dude in heaven. This guy sounds fucking insane. Not reading a lot of things I value, you know?
Both have chapters, but I don't think that
brother
that automatically means that people are down.
Is there anything I could pray for you about?
I pray that you'll be quiet.
There comes the hate. There comes the hate again.
So yeah, Dr. Witness are still very much
victimhood Olympics, man.
Huge, stinky, slimy balls. But the main criticism in my first video about him was how awful he is at talking to children. Even though that is his main objective in his streams.
Yes,
yeah, because religious people are always weird with kids. Something's always going to be a bit uncomfortable about rerouting. Oh my God, the Hawaiian shirt and all. This whole getup is tough. I mean, not even to like evoke the like history of like rampant pedophilia that has echoed through the corridors of the Catholic Church for all of its existence, but also just to be like, I think that the whole like, and that's why Jesus Christ is the way. It's a weird vibe. It's very much like ideological, like, I don't know. It feels very groomy to me. Like it feels patently inhuman, I guess. Like the idea is always to redirect unto worship in this evangelical imperative as opposed to like really hear meaningfully the plights and ails of someone's life. You know what I mean? Like, I think kids really want to feel understood. And even as a young person, I could get the sense that this person was more interested in like their obligation to God than they were their concern of my well-being. You know what I mean? It was never about how I felt. It was about honoring what you believed this God wanted you to honor in pursuit of your position in the afterlife or something, you know? And I just never really felt it to evoke authenticity.
Talk to minors all the time.
He's even admitted that is his main objective in his streams.
Yes, I talk to minors all the time.
I feel like I talk, I wouldn't say minors if I, like, that's very legal. I'd be like, I talk to like kids or like young adults, talk to like teens. I wouldn't be like, yep, I talk to minors. Like, that's weird that you're already like framing it in the context of consent, you know, which I've never like, you know.
He's even admitted to this in one of his tweets, hunting down little kids to tell them about Jesus. He used to constantly shame kids if they weren't Christian, and overall just be an absolute menace towards them. So
he's got the quarter pipe going on.
Let's see if he's gotten any better at talking.
Hardened by gel.
Talking to children over the past few years.
In fourth grade, people were saying that Santa Claus isn't real, that your parents just bring you the presents.
Yeah, that's actually true, unfortunately.
What, dude? Oh my God. Kids, I'll tell you what, you want to make a lifelong Christian, you keep them on the fucking Santa train. I was more worried about Santa not giving me gifts than going to hell. That was like way more of my practice as a youth. Like, I got to keep this gift thing going. It's crazy. Getting like 3 G.I. Joes every year. I'm not cutting that off.
Okay, and that's another lie, and that people do spread. I don't teach my kids about Santa Claus because
you're a joyless twat. Do you even have children?
Not real.
Did they let you procreate?
I don't do that because I don't want to lie to my kids. You know what I mean? Because lying's bad.
Dude, I have seen this.
I think he's lying about having kids.
TikTok now.
I knew that Santa wasn't real as soon as I found out. They had to know the truth. Oh, you were that kid? I knew from the time I was probably like I remember I had a kid. His dad was the rabbi at a really probably like one of a very, very, very large temple in Austin, and he told me in music class once that his mom woke up one day on Christmas and saw that her parents were putting gifts under the tree, and that's when she decided to be Jewish. And she converted to Judaism after that. So he was out there doing the rabbi's work in my music class. I was like 8, and I was like, oh shit, that sounds pretty credible, actually. And I remember like I kind of coped about it, where I was like, maybe like, you know, Santa's not going to go to their house because they're not like they don't believe it, you know. So he's like, why would I go give them gifts, you know? Like, if I stopped believing in, like, I was way more interested in my belief in Santa than I was jumping through hoops to believe in Santa. Once I stopped believing in God, it was like kind of over. I was like, I don't know if it clicks for me, and I don't know how to like reconnect it. But I was trying with Santa because I wanted more G.I. Joes.
Like 10 times. And every time I watch it, my fucking jaw drops. Dude, the saddest part, this kid makes the saddest little O sound.
It's actually true, unfortunately.
What the hell? You asshole. That is such an awful thing to do to a little boy. That is like objectively evil. And sure, if you don't tell your own kids about Santa.
Which God you stop believing in? Well, I was raised Lutheran, but like I just had a difficult time connecting with like the biblical description of God and like what was posited to me as being like God as a premise. It didn't seem to compute with what was being taught to me of like the religion and its importance. It didn't connect.
That's fine.
And to be fair, I'm not like necessarily against individuals who like take like solace in religiosity as a whole. It doesn't really convey meaning to me in the ways that other people would like.
Your kids, you can tell them or not tell them.
Did you ever study it in a literary sense? I mean, I went through confirmation, which was like kind of like a deeper biblical study in order to get like confirmed as Christian or whatever the fuck. Like you confirm your faith when you're a kid, which was okay. Lutherans do it. It's pretty like intense Bible study in theory, but I was always pretty detached from it. At that point, I just wasn't particularly compelled by it. It felt like it involved a lot of like magical thinking and the denial of a lot of like objective experiences or truths and the sort of like denigration or denial of like deservedness of life in individuals. I thought this whole premise of God's plan felt very much like backed by a sort of confirmation bias of like, you know, white Protestant people existing in the privileges of colonial American action, being like, yep, well, you know, that's why we have all these great things, you know. And then being like, everything happens for a reason. And I'm like, but these kids have like leukemia and die. Like, why did they get that? So their existence is just there to benefit my perspective. I just felt like a lot of things weren't super compatible with this premise of like, I don't know, grace, care, concern, paternal, you know. What if there was no illness? What if there, I mean, like, it's just, there's no real reason for it. And also this idea that like, you know, someone's going to like be raised in a predominantly Muslim area, hear one person talk about God in a Christian context, and now they're condemned to a life of an eternity of suffering because they didn't like convert. I don't know. I just felt like there was a great deal of pettiness. If this like omniscient, all-knowing God that's designed the life trajectory of everyone who spawns, right, is going to be so petty as to condemn someone to a life of pain and suffering because they didn't believe in him. I don't know. It's like, well, just say what's up. You could clear it up real quick. I don't feel like we have to operate in the shadows.
Whatever you want, but don't make that decision.
I don't know. I guess as a kid, those were my issues with it. It just didn't seem to make sense. And, you know, I'm not like a staunch atheist necessarily. Like, I'm pretty like, you know, if anything were to happen that would move me in the direction of becoming religious, I'm not like adverse to it necessarily. I just don't really believe in a lot of religion as it's organized, packaged, and sold. I think that it feels very financially incentivized. It's a very like, you know, long-standing and problematic racket in its own right. But yeah, I mean, the mysteries of existence still echo in my mind. I don't understand it necessarily, you know?
For other parents.
Well, I mean, it defers justice to, it's not just that, it's that it creates, I think, justification for a lot of behaviors in the present that benefit the ruling class. Like, you can think about the Protestant work ethic and this idea of your diligence being your godliness, and in your servitude to, you know, the you know, lords that preside over you, you demonstrate that you are God's chosen person. You know what I mean? Like, there are just a lot of different elements of like Christianity that have clearly been warped and manipulated to suit, you know, the owning class, and to, you know, drive labor and fear into police environments. And I think it all stems of like really scientific inquiry. It's why I'm not like anti-religion as a premise, because I think it's like people trying to do science. You know, it's just mysticism of people being like, why is it raining now when it didn't rain for 3 months? And then people will be like, is it because I stopped fucking Paul's wife? You know, maybe God hates when we fuck wives. I don't know. You know, it's just like doing this sort of like mysticism math all the time to make sense of it.
Like, what the fuck? And also, I'm about to say it.
Are the Jews kind of like the Christian world's Yakuza? Not even a little bit. It makes no sense. It's a completely separate faith. Christianity is kind of like it's like a sequel to a movie that like the original fans were like, nah, we don't watch that season. You know what I mean? It's like that one season in an anime that some people are just like, nah, don't watch that one. We don't acknowledge that. It changed the whole canon. It got really weird. They introduced this new main character. We don't like, it's still like, you know, like Judaism is technically a part of Christianity, in that, like, you know, the Jewish gospel is like it's the Old Testament, right? The Torah, I think. I could be incorrect. The actual fucking theologians, I don't know what the fuck you are. Feel free to, you know, get you know, attack me on that. But I feel like it was more like, okay, here's like this new sequel. This is it's not even a sequel. This is season 2, you know, and the season 1 fans, the purists, were like, no. We're not, that's not it. That's a new protagonist, whole new cast, fucking weird. Isn't it like the last season of Tokyo Ghoul, where they just like recasted, it's like a whole new cast of people. It's like not even the same show. It's kind of like that. Or like, do you remember that weird season of Scrubs? where they had like Dave Franco in and shit.
You don't tell your kids about Santa because that'd be lying? Then why are you telling them all about a man who could walk on water and cure people's blindness by rubbing mud in their eyes?
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
You didn't see any of that shit go down, dude. There is just as much proof for Jesus as Santa Claus, in my personal opinion, okay? Actually, no, sorry, that is fucked up. I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody. There's more proof for Santa Claus. Yeah, at least Santa brought me gifts when I was a kid. That's tangible evidence, dude. Jesus never...
At least they took the lie a little further.
Gave me an Xbox 360 in 2006. And if we're getting real here, the only person I've ever seen walk on water, Chris Angel. And the only person who can cure blindness is Mr. Beast. Okay, you got that? I hope Mr. Beast can cure pink eye too, because I sniffed his ass. Also, hot take here, I don't think lying to your
Commentary YouTube seems kind of tight, like to do. I kind of want to get into this.
kids is inherently bad. There are so many times
By the way, guys, quick reminder, 2,000 subs, we are going to be hitting Elden Ring.
my parents lied to me, and I am so glad they did it because my life was so much better than if they just told me the truth all the time. The best parents lie through their teeth until their kids are like in their mid-20s, they have a little bit too much wine to drink, and they tell you all the fucked up shit they lied to you about, okay? So I think you should lie to your kids, especially you, Dr. Witnesser.
I think the Jews are Christianity's Yakuza. So you didn't listen to anything I said.
4-year-old and an 8-year-old.
For their own good, you gotta lie to them. You gotta tell them you're a firefighter or a garbage man, sandwich artist,
You're just gonna run with your weird kind of conspiratorial position on Judaism.
beard model, literally.
Agree to disagree? Well, that's the thing though, is that you just said an incredibly fucking preposterous sentence with no like justifying arguments or expanding premises, and then are like, agree to disagree. I don't even agree to disagree because I don't know what you think. You just said a weird thing.
Anything is better than what you're doing right now. Dude, imagine it's career day and your dad shows up with this fucking religious streaming setup. Dude, they're getting bullied. I'm sorry. It's just so crazy that he's justifying like ruining the magic of Christmas for this little boy, which by the way is Jesus' birthday. And the way he justifies it is lying is bad.
Because lying's bad.
Hey man, you know what else is bad? A white guy saying the N-word, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Speaking of lying, literally while I was scripting this video, Dr. Witnesser posted this. I was involved in a horrible accident today.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I'll be scarred forever or not, but I will persevere and continue to bring the gospel to the children of Fortnite. Please don't make fun of my appearance on Monday's stream. Together we will get through this and hope there is a way to return to some semblance of a normal life. I'll see you then. And he was liking comments from people who were
and fucking ban him. I don't care.
Being sympathetic towards him and shit, so like, I fully thought this was serious. I was starting to feel bad for him for a second. For a whole day I was stressing. I was like, should I not make this video? Because I'm gonna feel like an asshole if he's in like a full body.
Yeah, being like the Jews are the criminal underworld of Christianity, and then I like give him a shot, and I'm like, no, I think that this is kind of what Judaism is to Christianity, and then be like, what did you mean to say by that? And then him being like, I'm smart and good and right. Yeah, I mean, I think that seals it. No, like, you know.
Body cast now, and I'm
like, I tried.
I'm just fucking dunking on him, you know? So I waited until the next day to see what the accident was, and when I tuned into his stream, this is what I saw.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, that makes a lot of sense. I think that there's a lot of overlap here in audience.
Yeah, dude, all that drama just for him to start streaming as a peanut. Why a peanut, you ask? I'll explain. I guess he's a big fan of another, like, VTuber guy named The Burnt Peanut, who streams himself as a fucking peanut, I guess. So all those posts by Dr. Witnesser were just clickbait for this stream, where he's essentially just copying this Burnt Peanut guy. And hey, man, call it what you want. That's lying. That's a lie. You told a lie.
Because lying's bad.
Like, I think lying on the internet for, like...
Got him! I get it. Sometimes I think that people are a little too satisfied to like catch people up in their hypocrisies when I think their hypocrisies don't really matter to the people that they're influencing. I'm way more interested in talking about why their ideas are stupid, because being like, but interesting, you did this when you also do this. It's like, people are complex and people contradict themselves all the time. But like, why is the actual idea itself bad? It's not bad because he contradicted it. You know what I mean? It's bad because it lacks nuance and operates in a way that is meant to solely serve like conversion through shame and fear, you know? like the whole idea of him, like, you know, going out of his way to rob joy from a child's life under the basis of it serving your, you know, religious imperatives, when the reality is that you're really just going out of your way to like create a clip for yourself, right? I mean, that's the problem. I don't really care if he doesn't lie elsewhere.
A harmless joke is fine. Obviously, I don't give a fuck about that. But if you're gonna make the firm, all-encompassing lying is bad claim, brother, you better not tell a lie ever again after you say that shit. And not to mention the countless contradictions within the Bible itself. I personally think it doesn't really work when you use that book as the end-all, be-all for your moral decisions, right? I'm definitely not saying you can't implement lessons from the Bible into your life, but with anything, I think there should be a balance, right? In the words of that famous philosopher, balance, baby. But I do really hope he keeps streaming as a peanut. I think that's great, because at least when he's a peanut, there's no fucking neckbeard staring at me. Hey guys, so I think God might actually be real, because wow, my prayers have been answered. While I was editing this video, Dr. Witnesser had a massive rebrand. He's now going by the name The Faithful Sheriff.
Oh
and he's
my
now
God, I've been seeing this guy all over Twitter. That's why people are mad at. Okay, interesting. I saw this guy. I think it's funny though, because the people who are so mad at it are also like kind of like dumb. This guy sucks for other reasons. Not because he copied the burnt peanut, because like who gives a shit?
cosplaying as a peanut with a southern accent.
Anybody who don't like me telling people about the good Lord in Fortnite and spreading the gospel message.
How do we know this is an S fan?
You're just working for Satan, that's all it is.
And his bio is, the burnt peanut is my arch nemesis. So you'd think like, oh, okay, maybe they're like, they know each other or something. No, they don't. That burnt peanut guy has never once
looking like Cornwood
addressed Dr. Witnesser's existence. All right, I'm sorry to do an editing update.
No, this is not. This is poor Peanut, man.
Within an editing update, but this peanut situation just keeps getting so weird, man. So obviously everybody's been clowning on Dr. Witnesser for straight up copying this burnt peanut guy. So in response to this, Dr. Witnesser, or the faithful sheriff, he posted a video giving people an ultimatum.
If you get the burnt peanut to respond to this video by saying, I release you of your peanut bones, you'll get your witnesser back.
See, this guy's actively scheming to get attention.
Now, if the burnt peanut don't respond to this video by saying I release you from your peanut bones, then I'll be the faithful sheriff forever.
I'm not joking here. This is like the creepiest thing I've seen in like a while. This is exactly like that song Stan by Eminem. Peanut Eminem. Dear Peanut, I wrote you, but you still ain't home. I do also love how he was like, if you get the Peanut to notice me, you'll get Dr. Witnesser back. And it's like, hey dude, I don't think anybody wants that either. Based on the fact that the top comment is, delete your channel as a third option. Ratioed, by the way, like crazy. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop checking his page because it's just making me sad.
Get the Peanut to respond.
Let's get back to my original update. That is so weird, dude. He doesn't know you, man. He doesn't know who you are. You know that who are you meme? That's how the burnt peanut feels, dude. Dr. Witnesser announced this weird-ass rebrand in a tweet. Dr. Witnesser is dead. In an epic battle of biblical proportions, the burnt peanut used his dark and mysterious magic to turn Dr. Witnesser into a peanut. He doesn't know. In the following days, Dr. Witnesser struggled against his transformation, fighting it off, but ultimately the inner bungalator was winning. I don't know what that means. After a week of no luck with trying to get the burnt peanut to reverse this monstrosity of a transformation, oh my god, so sad, it was to no avail. Dr. Witnesser would remain a peanut forever. Now everything that was Dr. Witnesser is dead. Waking up the next morning with no memory of his past life, he takes up the mantle of the faithful sheriff. The only thing in which he remembers is his burning passion to tell everyone about...
Okay, so he's having his, like... He endured his crucifixion. He was died and buried, and then he rose again.
The gospel message of Jesus.
As Peanut.
Jesus throughout the gaming world. Of course, how could you forget that? Now, with his posse and his faithful deputies, he dedicated his life to spread the good news of the Lord. But will he run across the burnt peanut again one day? Only time will...
Am I alone in thinking that this isn't, like, I don't really want to know much more about this? I just feel like I'm watching an indictment of an incredibly fucking weird guy who, like, you can't say anything that he does next that's going to surprise me, because he's exactly the kind of guy to do the thing that would be most shocking and stupid. You know what I mean?
Probably not. He doesn't know who you are.
You guys
yeah, and then there was
in
like
this?
a weird like AI generated picture to go along with it. Just all in all, really cool.
Because like I'm kind of like, you know, of course this guy, like now that I've learned about him, I don't really care what he does next, because I'm like, oh, you're just going to go on to be stupid. Like you're going to do the next most incendiary thing you can do.
Dude, that's so...
to bring attention to yourself under the guise of it being evangelism. To the doc arc? Okay, I'll go to the doc part.
Witnesser. Another thing I didn't realize in my previous videos is that the whole persona of Dr. Witnesser was based off of another popular streamer at the time, Dr. Disrespect. If you're
Why didn't you just name it Dr. Big Respect? And you're just like really respectful and Christ-like.
Familiar with Dr. Disrespect, he was one of the most popular streamers in the world, but then he was banned from Twitch for allegedly sending explicit and inappropriate messages to a minor.
Which was probably one of the most, at least Catholic things he could have done.
Via Twitch's Whisper function. Shocker, I know, a guy was being weird on a thing called Whisper. Hey Twitch, let's not pick the creepiest name of all time for a messaging app, what the fuck? Yeah, I downloaded this app called Murder. Everybody wants to kill me, but one would assume that a good Christian, like Dr. Witnesser, who was also a massive fan of Dr. Disrespect, so much so that he based his entire name off of him, you'd assume he was pretty shaken up about that whole situation, right?
Wrong.
Right?
Dr. Disrespect clearly didn't do anything.
Yeah, are you kidding? This is exactly the person who would defend it. This guy's been trying to have sex with 17-year-old girls his whole life. That's why he keeps volunteering at youth groups and being generally off-putting. What? This guy's doing one of two things. He's either moving to Thailand to purchase a wife, or he's going to continue to try to pry from the recesses of some kind of weird high school youth group, one to groom. That's it. There's
Anything
no...
wrong, because talking to a minor inappropriately in a sexual manner in California is against the law. 2, if he did what they said he did, he would have been arrested and charged. Since he wasn't, he didn't do what they say
Justice is always prevailing.
they did.
Yeah, there's your proof right there, guys. If he didn't get arrested for doing it, he never did it. Duh. And it doesn't matter how rich or successful someone is, if they do the crime, they do the time. Prime example, Donald Trump's name was mentioned 38,000 times in the Epstein files, but he was never arrested. Therefore, he's innocent. DB Cooper was never...
I mean, yeah, but they do that. That's what they think.
caught. Therefore, he didn't...
It's exactly what they... Yeah. No, that's the thing, is that it is exactly that. Yes. When it suits them to ignore infractions or inconsistencies, they do so. I mean, it's very common.
Do it. That's how the law works, guys.
Stop, police! What are you doing?
Oh, this? I'm doing an homage to my favorite movie, Holes.
I don't know, it looks like you just killed that guy, and now you're trying to hide the body.
What? Do I look guilty of something like that?
Yes.
Well, what happens when someone breaks the law? They get arrested. And look.
Okay.
No handcuffs.
Handcuffs go on bad guys. And riddle me this, officer. I see a pair of handcuffs hanging from your belt. That means your belt must be the murderer.
Very clever, detective. It seems we are at a standoff.
A standoff implies equal chances. You don't have opposable thumbs. You know, I said my favorite movie was Holes. It looks like this belt has one too many.
Cool. Sorry, back to this Dr. Witnesser video.
He might not even known the person's age at the time.
What was the conversation? Was it ever leaked? I don't care. I don't care if he was just asking her casual questions about streaming. Why are you talking to a fan who is a minor? Why? Like privately, it's not a meet and greet. It's not saying hi. It's not being kind. It's engaging in private discourse with someone who's not legally capable of consenting. It reeks of grooming. It's weird.
Exactly, right? Maybe he didn't know. But, just so we have all the facts here, a former Twitch employee said this to Rolling Stone. I recall that Dr.
I also like to say that in the event that the messages were deeply exonerating, I imagine they would have found their way out.
Disrespect was made aware by the individual that they were underage during the conversation, after which he indicated that this was no problem and continued on. The former employee told the publication, stating, there was no confusion. Messages sent after this was acknowledged were
Was it creepy? The answer is yes, absolutely. It's incredibly creepy to maintain active dialogue with someone who's underage as a married man, especially if that person is of the opposite sex, or of your preferred sex, rather, and you wield that kind of cultural power over them. Yes. Remarkably inappropriate, heinously inappropriate, no gray area inappropriate. No person should be doing that. Career-shattering creepy, 1,000%. You should never be trusted with any degree of influence if you're willing to edge it in the direction of grooming a minor, 100%. Yeah, completely worthy of... The problem is it's not career-shattering and he's still a successful streamer who makes a lot of money. If anything, I think that it's wholly insufficient how people have responded to it because we're so fatigued by the moral failings of content creators that we just continue to be like, fuck it.
Less graphic and in sexually explicit nature than before. And I think more than the categorization of leaning too much in the direction of being an appropriate might indicate. So yeah, I think it is just like a little weird to still support a guy after all that, especially because he's just a guy that fucking plays video games. It's pretty easy to stop watching. There's so many other guys that play video games. And it's not like he's just vocally and publicly supporting Dr. Disrespect. He financially supported him recently as well via a Twitch donation.
Dr. Witnesser, thank you for the $10, Doc. I'm 20 minutes deep in some spice, hot, acidic, goosebump-driven diarrhea, and I ran out of toilet paper.
Look at this is actually, I need to tell you that this is exactly what I think the average Dr. Disrespect enjoyer looks like as they consume Dr. Disrespect. He's fucking good. Just look at the joy. Look at the peace in his heart.
Recently as well via a Twitch donation.
Dr. Witnesser, thank you for the $10, Doc. I'm 20 minutes deep in some spice, hot, acidic, goosebump-driven diarrhea, and I ran out of toilet paper. I'm install 102 in the arena. Can you send Alex in to toss me a roll? Alex is not here today. You're in shit out of luck.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That was so worth it.
Grown-ass man, by the way. Grown-ass man giggling.
Yeah. I don't.
And kicking his feet about
I'm unhappy with it. I don't like looking at that. This is
another grown man noticing him. I don't know, bro. If you think homosexuality is a sin, I think I'd count.
Never answer a whisper. Don't talk to anyone underage. Yeah, I mean, like, it's really not hard. It's really not hard, man, to just not do, like, to just avoid cancelable shit. You just have to generally not have cancelable wants, you know? I think that the reality is that, like, I've never found it difficult to not talk to children. I've never found it difficult to not flirt with minors. I've never found it difficult to not aggress upon individuals who aren't consenting because none of those things fall under the purview of activities I enjoy. It's not within the umbrella of fun things to me. I find them all to be off-putting, uncomfortable, weird. I'm sure I have people who are younger than 18 who watch me. In fact, I would like it if some young people watched me. A lot of my content is actually like kind of tooled towards helping dispel what I believe a great deal of problematic social programming that exists on the internet is like, you know, how I yearn to be a positive influence for young people. I'm not going to like lay claim to being a, blanket appropriate streamer who isn't going to like dabble in like motifs or like themes or concepts that are, you know, entirely safe. But I also have no intention of communicating with kids, you know? Like, I have no problem with people consuming and being influenced by my programming or my platforming.
Also, not to pocket watch here, but I don't think the views that Dr. Witnesser gets on Twitch is enough to justify sending $10 donations to people. You know what I mean? Especially because I assume he's being a good Christian and following.
Think you're loyal to people around you? I mean, like, I don't think that loyalty is something that is like offered by way of proximity. I don't think that makes sense. I'm loyal to people I believe in. I'm loyal to people who I think are truly good and of like the moral character that I can go on to defend. And there are plenty of actions that someone could engage in that would completely nullify any semblance of loyalty I feel. I'm in no way, shape, or form. I don't believe in loyalty like that. I believe in honoring individuals who I don't just believe, who act in a way that is, demonstrably good and caring. I defend those worth defending, not those who have been around me.
Following the rules of giving 10% of his gross income as a tithing to the church. It's like, I don't know if you can do that, man. You've got kids, okay? How about priorities? You know what I mean?
Dad, can you please make me dinner?
Not now, son. Daddy's watching his comfort streamer.
Dad, please. The only thing I've consumed over the past few days are my own tears.
Wait, did you say tears? Oh my God.
Someone I know was essayed by a minor when they were unconscious from intoxication. Who would have been at fault, assuming the truth of that? Yeah, who's this fucking dude getting blackout drunk around minors?
What kind of a father am I? That reminds me, I need to renew my tier 3 sub to Dr. Disrespect. Thanks for reminding me. Oh my god. Chat, press F to pay respects. My son just collapsed. Keck W, bro.
Yeah, what context are you drinking to excess around minors? I just don't get that. That's weird.
Stop clip farming.
At first, I was like really confused that Dr.
Oh, yeah, no. The Kobe fans are on fucking watch right now.
Witnesser, a guy who
Life happens, man. Think about it. I've never been blackout drunk around minors. I don't think I've really been intoxicated around minors except for when I was a minor. So no, life doesn't happen and people don't just wind up pissed drunk in front of minors. That's not how that works.
has children.
I have a 4-year-old.
Yeah, the free throw total's not going to look kindly on that record.
An 8-year-old
would be okay with another grown man allegedly being inappropriate towards a minor.
Yes, I talk to minors.
But, you know, unfortunately, it wouldn't be the only...
say minors if you're not being weird. I talk to like... I coached like teens and talked to like young adults, talk with young people, you know.
Time that someone in the church didn't really give a fuck about the well-being of children.
When he's not a minor, I think under 18 is a minor.
And for this video, I watched like...
To not be of legal drinking age to be under 21.
Every single stream highlight that this guy has ever posted. And from the stuff he posts, you'd assume...
Unconscious from intoxication is code for sorry about last night I was drunk. Sorry, what? 19 to 18? What? You're not a minor from 19 to 18. You're a minor from 17 and under. That's what being a minor is. I don't understand. Like, what is this weird fucking, like, devil's advocate you want to play for, like, what I think is just an intrinsically problematic behavior, which is trying to maintain active romantic or sexual tension with minors, with people who are underage, with people who are patently incapable of consent, who are going to be in a lot of ways at the mercy of your sort of like influence or, you know, systemic or even like cultural power over them. Like, what are we doing? Is this the kind of discourse you want to like stamp your name on? Is it meaningful to you? You want to have sex with minors? I have no problem with that. No. All the behavior that would be leading up to sex is problematic as well. Even endeavoring to flirt with a minor. I think having long-form communication with a minor that you aren't a direct mentor of is weird. I think that in the event that you're a school teacher, and like I was a high school lacrosse coach, and I would go out of my way to, when I was coaching, this was when I was in college, to be like super available to my players. And if they ever wanted to go out and like train or work together at any other moment, I was always available to them because I think it's important for young men to have mentors who aren't like sterile and off-putting and who are willing to really like engage with them meaningfully, right? We are not talking about me. We are talking about Dr. Disrespect. Yes. And I am condemning it because it's patently fucking weird. Any content creator engaging privately with their minor audience members is weird. That is textbook groomer shit. What did he do? You know what he did because we were talking about it earlier. You referenced it yourself. He was maintaining active, inappropriate communication with a minor woman, with a girl who was underage. There's to me no gray space for interpretation. It's patently fucking weird. You can argue whatever kind of legality you want, and I'm sure that there are states in which obviously he's not going to be tried criminally for it, and I have every right to maintain that he's a fucking weird loser for doing it. It's not that difficult. There are plenty of things that we give legal space for because legal systems are imperfect, mind you, okay? Like, what people do within the context of law and order is navigate what essentially tools have been given to them by lawmakers to ensure peace and stability for an environment, be it, you know, cultural, social, etc. Like, okay, you are policing, quote unquote, like internally and applying laws that exist unto actions that we deem to be problematic, right? There are plenty of individuals for telling Millie Bobby to fuck off. Yeah. Henry Cavill did that? I mean, yeah, Drake maintained incredibly inappropriate discourse with her. Talking to a fucking 13-year-old about boys, incredibly fucking weird. So yeah, I mean, you could take issue with lawmakers, which I do, but I'm still entirely... I am deeply and unabidedly committed to making fun of losers who believe that just because something is within the confines of what one state might deem legal, right, it doesn't mean that what they did is cool or acceptable. And I will continue to shame these fools. Why Twitch never leaked it? If it to protect the victim. Like, I don't even know, like, what? This is, like, very well cataloged. Twitch has spoken about this. Have you done any effort to look into this yourself? Or are you using me as, like, because I will tell you, I just don't know if you're actually, like, asking in good faith. Because the 17-year-old didn't want to have their actions, statements, or anything else be reflected publicly. Also, Dr. Disrespect, the only reason why it was ever found out, I think, was that it was leaked by a past employee. Twitch was never going to publicly address it, from what I understand.
A Dr. Witnesser hater was in charge of his social...
Like, yes, the guy who built an entire fucking personality in his live stream around being a crass, indignant, and inappropriate person, it turns out to be a bit fucking creepy. It makes sense. His whole thing is being a ruthless competitor who yields to nothing, and of course that's not going to stop at the age of consent. This is a fucking weirdo.
Media, because nothing he posts makes him look like a good person, let alone a good Christian. He always brings up these controversial topics in these Fortnite matches, and he consistently has zero compassion or empathy for anybody whatsoever.
Bro, Palestine must be free. Then go over there and free it yourself, bro. I don't care. Stop spamming it in my chat. Stop talking to me about it.
No hate like Christian love, man, truly. This is actually why someone is just trying to advocate
18 years being an adult is no scientific basis for being an adult, by the way, too. Look, at a certain point, we have to just draw a line of that's relatively arbitrary. Like, this is the point in which society now trusts you to go out and make decisions in accordance to your sensibilities, right? There are training wheels still. You might still have parental supervision. But, like, at 18, we at a certain point just have to be like, okay, this is what we say is enough. Okay? At this point, we have every right to judge someone who's dating an 18-year-old when they're fucking, like, 32. You know what I mean? But, like, the reality is that, like, we have to at a certain... Like, I dated people who were, like, late 20s, early 30s when I was 18, 19. Like, I was, like... They were lessons I had to learn, but, like, I was, like, willingly and consensually embarking on that. It was just at a place where it was problematic enough to where I would have to learn a hard lesson. It just wasn't necessarily criminal. I was entrusted by society to be an independent actor at that point. And we have to decide where that point is, you know, eventually. Or, you coddle people for an eternity. And I think that, of course, there are, like, varying metrics through which you can assess, like, let's say, like, well, Cougars went after me, but yeah. I think at a certain point you can look at it and be like, okay, there's, like, a preparedness that you can assess as being present or absent. But, like, I don't know, like, it is a big question. Like, when are we legally signing off on it? Some people are going to be ahead of the curve. Some people are going to be behind the curve, both in, like, their moral, intellectual, and, like, physical development. It's all weird. That's why I'm saying that at the end of the day, we really just have the court of public opinion, right? The court of public opinion is, like, the last bastion of policing what we believe to be normal on the basis of nuance, right? So where certain courts, or, like, let's say, like, legal systems may fail to indict someone for being a fucking weirdo, the court of public opinion can say, nah, we don't fuck with that. Correct?
And raise awareness for Palestinians experiencing a fucking genocide? And to that, his response is, oh my God, I don't care. Dude. You're not going to heaven.
Of course, he's not a thinking person.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't support Israel. I don't support Palestine. There is no country of Palestine in the first place. They don't have a land to themselves. They don't own any land. Israel's saying nope.
What does that mean, though? Why is that? Do we want to do any look into the history that you're trying? Or are we just going to say stupid shit? We're just going to say, because you're Dr. Witnesser, the Fortnite evangelist. Like, what am I thinking? Why am I even saying this?
This is our land.
Fucking
Go find
weirdo.
somewhere else to live. And the crazy thing is, no other country wants them because they fly paragliders into other countries and sit there and kill 1,300 of the civilians.
Okay, so I'm starting to get a sense that you do have a bias here.
And then they wonder why Israel is bombing the crap out of them because Israel
keep going,
is tired of them. And I don't blame.
Okay, this guy's like, I don't support Israel or Palestine, but I'm saying I kind of support Israel. I'm starting to think that the actions of Israel are pretty justified, but I don't support any of them. Like, yeah, fuck off, dude. No, you have no interest in digging into like any of the nuance of like material asymmetry or the reality of Western alignment on the basis of like strategic positioning in the Middle East and how that's benefited. Like, you have no interest. Just a dude who's hell-bent on justifying the decimation of a people because it's easier than reading. It's just easier than reading, man.
Pretty fucking wild to be like, I don't support Palestine and I don't support Israel.
Okay.
Anyways, here are all the reasons I support Israel.
So stop bugging me about it.
He then goes on to criticize members of the LGBTQ plus community for supporting Palestine.
It's the same dumb thing when LGBTQ people sit there with other Free Palestine flags, and if they were to go over to the country themselves, they would be for their beliefs.
It's like his brain literally can't even grasp the concept of empathy.
Yeah.
It's honestly pretty impressive. Because yes,
for someone who preaches a doctrine of supposed empathy, it's pretty crazy.
Same-sex sexual activity is prohibited in Gaza, and the maximum penalty is 10 years in prison, which obviously most people do not agree with. But members of the LGBTQ plus community are still allowed to advocate for victims of a fucking genocide, dude, regardless of the government's views towards them and their sexuality. But again, it's not directly affecting Dr. Witnesser, so he doesn't care.
I don't care. I'm not living over there. It's not my war.
My favorite Bible verse. I missed the part where that was my problem.
If you want to do something about it, go over there, fly over there, pick up a and do something about it.
Yes, that is the only way to fix the problem.
That's crazy.
Go over there.
I love how just like unthinking this is, man.
Pick up a gun and do something about it. Encouraging violence, very good, man. Now, if I could just reference the Bible real quick. Psalm 11:5. The Lord tests the righteous and the wicked, and his soul hates one who loves violence. So God hates anybody who loves violence. Okay.
Pick up a and do something about it.
I think that's crazy is like this guy would probably just continue to rot into the catacombs of obscurity were it not for like commentary channels, right? Or is this guy pretty well known? I don't know.
Then they wonder why Israel
is this like a necessary dunk, or did we signal boost this fucking loser?
Arming the crap out of them because Israel is tired of them. I don't blame them.
Someone give 10 so we can unpack some. Hey man, if someone drops 10, we're pumping packs.
God hates you, bro. Sorry.
How about instead of free Palestine, how about save the Christians?
And believe me, I did not plan on making such a long video about this guy, but every clip he posts,
300 viewers that's a pretty solid amount actually,
is worse than the one before it.
That's a career.
And I can't stop. Dr. Witnesser has to talk about every current issue on his religious Fortnite stream for some reason.
Hey, exciting for Dr. Witnesser, man.
The murders of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. I'm not really sure why it's a debate, really. I don't think ICE agents should be allowed to just fucking kill people, you know? But let's see what big brain Dr. Witnesser has to say about all this.
Did you hear about that thing that happened in Minneapolis with the ICE agent?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you hear about the lady that got killed?
What? You know what? Go back to talking about God. I prefer you evangelize unsuccessfully than actually like spread misinformation. At least most people know how to identify a fucking bad faith evangelist, but like...
Yep.
What do you think about that?
You probably watched too much Asman.
Is that justified? Is that fair? Is it not fair?
I don't think they should be using that type of excessive ass force.
It's only excessive, in my opinion, because of the amount of people who are resisting the...
Yeah, like...
Yeah, man, just bend over and take it from a fucking completely untethered Gestapo, man. Yeah, use the fucking private militia meant to carry out the whims and wants of Donald Trump in accordance to what he thinks will appease his fucking bigoted voter base best. Fucking insane.
Well, if this streaming thing doesn't work out for Dr. Witnesser, and I really hope it doesn't, at least Dr. Witnesser can start a really successful shoe cleaning business because he's evidently really good at getting on all fours and licking boots.
It's only excessive, in my opinion, because of the amount of people who are resisting.
That is a crazy thing to say, man. The reason there are so many people resisting the ICE raid...
I bet, dude, seeing a guy like this makes me really miss the day where I could just go through and look at everyone's Twitter likes, you know? Like, I would love to see what kind of weird shit this guy likes.
Just because they're, like, objectively fucked up. Giving masked...
You guys remember when Doc Rivers had his Twitter likes leaked and it was just, like, all porn? Coach Doc Rivers.
Federal agents the right to forcibly enter homes without a warrant? I don't think that's something that should ever be acceptable, doctor. See, I think out of any...
Yeah, wait, let me make sure I'm remembering this appropriately. Hold on. Doc Rivers, Twitter likes. Yeah, hold on. Doc Rivers didn't know his Twitter likes Republic. Doc Rivers and someone else likes Republic. What is this? Apparently, there's still an issue with resetting his password. Dog was informed by a friend about the bizarre activity on his account. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, they tried to pretend that it was a hacked Twitter account, right? Hold on. I probably can't show you this. Apparently, it was a lot of chaser behavior as well. Twitter has some good content, bud.
A ton of backlash for saying the N-word several times. So he took to Twitter to make an apology, if you want to call it that. I don't feel like I need to, but I'm doing it anyways. Nice. Good start, man. I apologize to anyone who might have been hurt by me saying...
Didn't Ted Cruz like porn on 9/11? Well, I'm going to be honest. Like, you can like porn on 9/11. Like, life doesn't stop for remembrance, okay?
The word N-word or N-word hard R on stream. I clearly was not...
Oh my God, no,
John,
I didn't mean to rewind. What the fuck just happened? Fuck.
Which is a right that conservative people fight for fucking tooth and nail. All
like, white Americans also.
Detaining 5-year-olds? Dude, what crime he deserves to be locked up? I agree. I believe the evidence is sufficient. Little Jimmy, I sentence you to life without parole. Maybe next time you'll think twice before peeking at your classmate's shoes during Heads Up 7-Up. But in Dr. Witnesser's video, his teammate brings up the instances where ICE agents have detained legal U.S. citizens, which is true, by the way. That has happened.
There's also a lot of ICE agents that are also arresting legal people, even like white Americans also.
And the whole time he's telling Dr. Witnesser this, he's just like, okay, that doesn't sound correct.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, this is like Reddit Final Boss. This just looks like if fucking Tim Heidegger ate himself. Like, I've never seen more smug self-importance. I mean, I have, but only in better streamers.
Sound legit, but okay.
And it's like, yeah, man, you're right. It doesn't sound legit, but it's happening. It's a real thing that happened.
They literally are just
Tim Heidegger got stung by a hive of bees.
taking people. Even if you show them documentation,
he is like a literal Heidegger character.
they're still gonna take you. They still will take you.
And if you just did the smallest amount of research, man, you would know that. You're playing too much fucking Fortnite, bro. Go outside.
I never saw that. I never saw that when I was jumping out of the battle bus.
It doesn't sound legit, but okay. Apparently this other guy who was a nurse got shot and killed. My question is, why bring a gun to a protest?
And dude,
It's just complete subservience. What do you think the point of a protest is? If you're meaningfully challenging the status quo, you will eventually meet some semblance of violent resistance. You will. It's also your God-given right to do both of those things, to own a gun and to protest. God-given, I should say. It's actually your constitutionally assured right. So, like, I'm completely...
I've seen this talking point brought up a bunch of times from, like, conservative people especially, and it makes no sense to me, dude. Alex Preddy, the guy who was murdered by ICE agents, he had his gun at a protest, which he had a legal permit for.
Everyone loves... Yeah, I mean, the thing is that they are adamant about protecting 2A rights when they believe that a government is hostile towards them, right? And they're told actively that they need to campaign in that direction because that's what's going to guarantee them, immunity from the wrath of the corridors of power. But, like, why do they need a gun now in their brains, even though they'll still have one? Why do you need to bring a gun to any kind of government activity? The government is always going to be looking out for your best interests, etc. I mean, the thing is that, like, it's not about, like, consistency of ideology, because it's mostly about scapegoating and creating blind tribalist imperatives that keep people in the pocket of whatever a given party, demands of them, should they need to leverage their political activity to maintain power and sell their influence to companies, right? They're just making money off of their positions of power, and they'll manipulate people in any direction they need to continue doing so.
He had the right to carry that gun, which is a right that conservative people fight for fucking tooth and nail all the time. Literally, the video before this, Dr. Witnesser claimed that the only way to solve the problem was with a gun.
If you want to do something about it, go over there, fly over there, pick up a gun.
People say is, well, why didn't he have a gun to protect himself? But whenever someone has a gun, they're like, well, why did they have a gun? Were they planning to kill someone? And it's like, okay, so you understand that having a gun makes it easier to kill someone? But got it. Guns don't kill people. And obviously, I disagree with anybody with these beliefs. But to take the fucking moral high ground with your Christian beliefs is just fucking insane, because when you say stuff like,
people just need to stay home and not make dumb decisions.
Or
most of the time, protesting doesn't do any good.
I think he's like directly going against what the Bible says. Protesting is speaking out, standing up for what you believe in. Shouldn't Christians be fucking stoked about that? What if Jesus never went out in public amidst all the criticism and spread the gospel? What if Jesus was just like, nah, I don't wanna. I think I'm just gonna stay in my house and play video games. Then Jesus would have a fucking neck beard, dude.
Okay, damn. Jonah Hill's a...
Jesus was a protester, dude. John 2:13-25.
Fuck.
5. When Jesus stormed into the temple courts, interrupted the proceeding by overturning tables, yelling, and driving both people and animals out of the room using a whip, he was condemning the greed and corruption of religious hypocrites. Luke 4:16-31. Jesus boldly stood up and spoke in the synagogue. One of many
I just feel like the individuals who try to like influence public opinion on the basis of hypocrisy really miss the mark. Like, I think that hypocrisy and contradiction are just so like intrinsic to being like, you know, complex people. The issue is the positions that they're holding are bad, right? It's not even that, it's that they're like dishonestly occupying a belief in something like, let's say, like honesty or empathy, only when it's most convenient. And so it's not really like even like pointing out when it's bad, like, or when they don't do it. You know what I mean? I think it's more so in asking them what it is they believe that these like premises are meant to like accomplish or defend. Like why do you believe honesty to be important in this context? Do you know what I mean? I'd rather know more about why it is they're invoking honesty here, you know, because people are messy. They are complex. Sometimes people will be like, it's good to tell the truth, and they'll lie otherwise. But talking about why the moment in which he's invoking a need for honesty in, let's say like, you know, being obsessed with like taxonomically categorizing people based on like biological sex, etc. You know, like why is it now that this is the most important thing in the world to you? Like, what is it about the possibility of individuals being complex or nuanced or varied that is evoking discomfort, right? Where is your issue with this premise? And does it have more to do with the fact that it challenges maybe your grip on your own sexuality, maybe witnessing something that you find attractive that might also be representative of, like being biologically male, for instance? Does that challenge you and your belief in your own masculine identity? Like there are more interesting questions, I guess, to ask in those who are like rife with contradiction than simply pointing out contradiction as if that's sufficient to like change their mind. It typically isn't, right?
Would speak in, proclaiming things so countercultural and radical that he created a mob so furious at him they eventually chased him with the intention of...
But yeah, a lot of it's votes. I mean, it's finding ways to draw like lines in the sand for people and to disingenuously kind of position ideology in these kind of like polls, right? Of like, well, look at this belief. How could they say that X, Y, or Z is true? That's clearly like scientifically invalid. These people are hell-bent on subverting order and making chaos of what is a perfectly sustainable and meaningful system, etc. Acting as if it's the actual issue. It's to divide the working class amongst itself so they can't realize that the issue will always be between those who wield and those who do not wield capital, right? You are a labor battery meant to fuel the privilege of the owning class, and you'll continue to do so until you die.
Killing him.
But folks who think this way won't likely take time to think deeply about those questions. You think this don't have anything resembling coherent response to that question? No, but the reality is I think that I've had my most successful, like, conversion, quote unquote, experiences with people ideologically when I was actually able to really sit down and get into like granular discussion with them in a way that didn't feel guided or judgmental. And it's very difficult to do. But if you have, let's say, like for me as someone who doesn't necessarily exist within a demographic that's oftentimes being like, let's say, persecuted by these discourses, right? I've always taken it upon myself to like acknowledge that privilege and use the privilege that I do have in that conversation to be as patient as possible with my efforts to convert ideology, right? It takes a lot of listening. Yeah.
Jesus would not
I
fuck
also
with
find it very interesting, though.
you, bro.
When the protest makes
But sometimes it is just more fun to dunk.
sense, okay, so like, okay, equal rights for African Americans.
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't think it made sense. You undoubtedly would have been at the camp that said like, oh no, but it's separate but equal, but you already have that. Why should my kids be forced to go to schools with them, etc.? You would have parroted those points that you have a right to choose how your child's raised, and you want to like. It's nonsensical. I mean, like, so much of now you're just using the way that the law obfuscates your prejudice to feel just in what you're saying. But you have to remember that the law obfuscated that prejudice then. That's the whole point. Like, unraveling the fucking, unraveling in deconstructing the obstacles of like Jim Crow era policy, right, was all going to be built around people being like, well, if they didn't want to get shot, why'd they break the law? They know they can't be there. That's all it is. You're doing that now with through a national lens involving immigration, etc. Finding out like, well, if they're not going to assimilate, they don't deserve to be a part of our community. Exactly. It's not just state approved. It's that racism always finds its rooting in state legislature, in national legislature. Like, laws exist to create policeable and legal avenues for segregation, separation, and the concentration of power and influence. That's why people take issue with a lot of policing in general, is that the police oftentimes exist as an extension of a fundamental prejudice in lawmaking.
Makes sense. Martin Luther, that makes sense because we're all human beings.
Sorry if that doesn't really communicate to you guys, but
we all deserve the same rights, right?
Man, he's just so close to getting it, man. That's what's so heartbreaking about this. Literally contradicted himself within the same fucking Cheeto breath. Protesting for equal rights makes sense because we're all human beings and we deserve equal rights. Unless you're a fucking immigrant. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Like, these people entered the country illegally. They broke a law.
Yes, Dr. Witnesser is all about upholding the law, except when it comes to his favorite video game streamer. Allegedly, I should say. And I hate to be the guy to use the Bible to prove a point once again, but Leviticus...
In a class analysis? Well, no, I mean, like, the entire American legal system almost operates exclusively to concentrate power in the hands of the people who presently wield it. That's why they spend so much money on dictating policy via corporate lobbies. I mean, like, it's not that fucking hard to get. You don't spend fucking billions of dollars annually on influencing American politics if you don't have a policy objective from it. Laws are built to protect power and keep you out of it, by the way.
It's 1933 to 30.
Because they don't want to share.
For when immigrants live in your land with you, you must not cheat them. Any immigrant who lives with you must be treated as if they are one of your quick scheme.
Proper, as long as
he came here legally. As long as Jesus Christ came to this country legally.
I actually can't believe Dr. Witnesser is like a real guy that's just like out in the world. You know what I mean? I know he's playing Fortnite, but it's almost like he's secretly playing this other game with himself to see how many times he can go against the teachings of the Bible. Fuckers at the top of the leaderboard. He's got the fucking first face.
Well, that's the thing, is that when you blindly adhere to whatever the like prevailing legal consensus is of the time, you're going to find yourself on the wrong side of history a lot, right? Most systemic or widespread racism or subjugation by way of race was very much legally sanctioned. And if you believe that anyone breaking the law is patently incorrect and should be punished, then you are a non-thinking chud. It's why I find Asmongold's entire like commentary surrounding immigration, ICE, etc. to be so grating and tone deaf. It's just so devoid of meaningful analysis. It is, to me, the embodiment of reactionary alt-right political, like, you know, ideology, I guess, ultimately. It's like we've created the legal justification to be as reactionary and bigoted and fearful as possible, and that is a very, very, very strong tool to give into the hands of individuals that you have propagandized, you know? To take a bunch of people who you have convinced, you know, through a deliberate effort that, like, okay, immigrants are the reason why you are experiencing dwindling education, rising, crime rates in certain areas, etc. To point to that and then give them the tool to justify all of the hate you have sowed in their heart is really dangerous.
But it is still so jarring to see the juxtaposition of him like spreading the good word of Jesus while also like shooting people in the fucking head, you know?
Are you on the side of Jesus or on the side of Satan?
Like, if you're gonna do this while playing a video game, at least play Jesus Christ Simulator or something, you know what I mean?
Oh wait, that looks so sick. What the fuck? Is this like GTA? This looks like AI slop. Are we stopping Satanists?
commit to the bit. Personally, I think Christians should have boycotted Fortnite when they added in the Jesus emote. Okay, I've realized I've already talked about this guy for fucking way too long, but can I please just show you one more video, please? One more, just one. Okay, thank you.
Why are most lesbians that you see and most of the LGBTQ purple-haired nose ring people, why they look so ugly? Why? Because they go through life and they're miserable.
Buddy. Bubba. You look like fucking... I mean, like, I don't want to be mean, but like... You know? Why are you criticizing lesbians when you're dressed like an incredibly unfashionable one? What are you doing? What is... Oh, I mean, he looks like in fucking Tim Heidegger undergoing anaphylactic shock. He's bloating.
And they have like leftist style.
And I just like, and I don't like attacking people on the basis of how they appear. I'm just like, why are we throwing stones? What's happening? Like they're not existing to your sexual sensibilities. You're not going to find women that are like, you know, designing a sort of like presentation or aesthetic around the female gaze, the gay, like the lesbian gaze, mind you. You're not going to probably find them as attractive. It's not meant for you.
Ideologies, and no one wants to date them, and
they do. They're having a lot more sex than you, unfortunately.
Ugly. They're not pretty looking. Men don't want them. So
what? No, that's not why they're gay. They're gay because they're gay and they don't care if men like them. I had a Reddit post of his where he calls a pastor an agent of Satan for being obese. Wait, what is his account? Which one is it? Dr. Witnesser. Oh my God. What? Some to the 400 plus pound. Yeah, well, the obese people tend to be the most self-loathing. It's why typically when someone in my chat is remarkably prejudiced towards anyone who's obese or wants to invoke a lot of just like hateful rhetoric about fat people, I almost always know that they're probably fat themselves. They're either very fat and self-loathing and looking for something to dunk on, or they are like individuals who are just like naturally very skinny who use that as their sole achievement, right? Oh, I'm skinny, therefore at least I'm better than this person, and they use that to obfuscate their otherwise, devastatingly anticlimactic existence. Man, this guy's really been at it, huh? Well,
what do? They turn to their own kind.
That's a whole bunch of stones thrown for someone living in a glass house. I'm trying to say this as nicely as I can, but I don't think you have the right to call anybody ugly, pal. You have a beard on your neck. Honestly, maybe that's what's distorting his words. Maybe he really is trying to say like nice things, but the words just get all distorted and twisted in his evil neck beard. Dr. Witnesser.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people enjoy antagonism, I guess. It's such a strange thing though, because it can't be possibly like benefiting him by way of self-esteem.
Insulting someone's appearance is so wild, dude. That's like if I made fun of...
Also, it's like, do you know how, like, happy these gay women are that you don't want to fuck them? Like, do you know, like, that, like, in some ways, how it is gay women will, like, dress and present has a lot to do with the fact that it deters you from being a pig? Like, have you ever, like, talked to people about why they dress the way they do? I've talked to so many women who aren't even gay, mind you, who will make deliberate fashion choices because it staves off chuds. From their tattoos to their piercings to their manner of dress, the amount of people I know who strategically present to avoid exactly you.
Somebody's outfit at the 2016 Shorty Awards. That's like if you're at a party.
Of course, someone who's never once sought to see value in women outside of how they appease sexual sensibility, of course he's going to be like, why would you do that? Why would you dress that way? Make everyone... No, it just makes you mad.
And there was a guy standing there caked in shit, and he was like...
Hey, they don't have blue hair I gladly have a beer with. What? Why do you care if someone has blue hair? Why do you care if someone is like cool and expresses themselves through a medley of different personal choices? I don't. So fucking weird.
Oh, somebody stinks in here. And the really funny thing, for Neckbeard the Pirate here to make the claim that the only reason that lesbians exist is because they couldn't get a guy to like them, that also implies that...
Also, like, I don't think that this guy has any idea what the sexual reality of women who don't even want sexual attention from men is. Like, that's not it. That's not it. They're inundated, annoyed. I mean, women are infinitely pickier than men are. You're going to have a much harder time attracting a woman even as a woman than you are just as a woman attracting men. It's way easier. Way easier.
The only reason Dr. Witnesser
men are piggish pieces of shit for the most part, man,
is straight is because he couldn't get a guy to like him.
It's not a matter of, oh, they didn't choose to like girls. Like, yes, they did, bro.
Being gay isn't a choice, obviously. It's just like what some people are, and that's fine. Being a homophobic Christian with a neckbeard, though, that is a choice. That is a conscious decision, dude. And I've seen him make claims before that he hates when people are shoving their beliefs down people's throats.
You want to decide to do that, that's fine, but don't push it on our children. The problem I have is parading it in front of everybody.
Buddy.
Yeah, it is your whole platform. It's weird.
That's what you do. That's all you do, man. You can believe whatever you want. I just don't like when people shove their beliefs down my throat.
Anyways, Jesus died.
Some straight men are specifically attracted to masculine lesbians. Well, yeah, because like everything exists on a spectrum of attractiveness. It's like I'm really against this idea of like, I don't know, man. I think you just like what you like and you try not to put too much thought into it. If there's a really emergent pattern, then sure, go ahead and define it. But like, you can just be like truly and like shockingly drawn to something. And I think that you owe it to yourself to explore it should it be present. You know, you don't have to try to silence or subdue everything you
For
feel.
you, and if you disagree, you're an agent of Satan. You're an agent of Satan, buddy.
Alright, I think I've had enough complaining about Al McWiggin from Toy Story 2. After my first video about him, I really did not think he could get any worse. I was hoping it would kind of put him on the straight and narrow, but I was naive, which is an N-word I am allowed to say. Dr. Witnesser, I hate to say it, but everything you do and everything you say, wealth or gain, agent of...
Okay, I actually pretty funny. Actually enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Good time.